And a very warm welcome to the Shackles are Off podcast / Barmy Meets. This is the second one, and thank you very much if you have watched the last one that we did. It was the first one, and well, it was a pretty good guest to start us off with, wasn't it? It was Sir Alistair Cook, and if you're wondering what it's all about, do check it out. We've done it as both the usual Shackles are Off podcast as well, and all the usual podcast channels, Spotify, Apple, etc., as well as the YouTube channel, so you can watch that one along, and you can see Cookie's lovely house as well, or little bits of it. It doesn't look that nice though, does it, lads? Yeah.
Farm, not a house.
Farm, all right.
Yeah. 2,000 lambs, mate. You can't get 2,000 lambs in a house, can you?
That's what he said. Is that 2,000 lambs? That's a lot. I just
2,000 little Allen lambs.
They're just house lambs, aren't they?
They are. Do you think Chris Millard and Yorkshire, former Yorkshire and Somerset? I'm getting a look.
Are we back in 2017, mate?
We are. Well, it feels like it, because we're talking to former Yorkshire seamer and, well, generally kind of all-rounder as well, Tim Bresnan on this podcast. But before we get on to Brezzy, Brooksy, I want to hear about you, because as we record this, you've been back in training, for the last couple of days down at Taunton. So, I mean, look, after so long out, that must be absolutely class. What a feeling that must be back in the swing of things.
Oh yeah, cheers, Talk Sports, James Gregg.
Fair play.
He wishes, mate. He wishes.
I don't. That's fine.
He's gone on the record. He's gone on the record.
But I am open to offers. I am freelance, so all job offers are welcome.
No, Sheffield Lives, James Gregg.
That's better. Yeah, go on. Brooksy, tell me what it was like down at Somerset.
Yeah, mate, it's been class. We've been back in Wednesday this week, so we've done 3 days of training. It's been really good, like a really positive attitude around the place. It's obviously not the same. We've got different protocols, and we're not in our changing room anymore. We've moved into the members' big long room area, big spread out room with new spots with tape around it, and you've got to be more than a few metres away from people. And then the downstairs rooms now are big open plan gym, and it's all one-on-one stuff this week. We're in small groups next week, and then the week after that, I think we're all back training as a group.
What's it been like bowling again, Brooksy? How are you feeling?
You know what? Surprisingly good. I was dreading it, just to think, A, it's going to hurt. B, am I going to land it? C, how's the body going to feel? And amazingly, it's been really good, and I've not woken up too stiff each day as well. So it's boding well at the minute, but I'm not going to get carried away too quickly because we've still got a few more weeks before we play. But we find out next week what the formats are going to look like. Because obviously you found out this week cricket is back on, isn't it? First class cricket, or pro cricket will start again 1st of August, won't we? So we'll find out next week if that's going to be a 50 over comp in August or a 4-day comp. But then the 2020 will happen in September as well. So still plenty to get excited about, and get some cricket on the box and play some sport, and people hopefully get interested and watch some, or pay attention to cricket for the rest of the summer. Somebody needs some lifting, don't we?
Yeah, just a bit. You know what's been really great, actually, because obviously England are in their sort of bubble down at the Ageas Bowl, and they've obviously had that intra-squad game. And I mean, I've been a bit of a badger. I've had a little watch. I sort of parks up for an hour and watched this live stream on the.
No commentary, was there? Were you practicing your commentary for Talk Sport?
Yeah, of course he was.
Very good, lads. No, I wasn't.
How hard is it watching cricket without any sound, by the way? Even not just hearing a bit of leather on willow. And also, like the ball, and it sort of scuttles off, and then you don't know where it's gone particularly. Is that 4 or has somebody slid and chased it? You can't really tell. But it was just nice to see cricket back. And what was great as well, because obviously there's no Barmy Army presence, and it's going to be a lot of people who sort of travel around the world watching England play cricket, Chris. It's going to be that sort of first test that they've missed for a number of years, isn't it? Particularly the first test of the summer. But for obvious reasons, that's fine. However, what we did have was Mark Wood, who is obviously a friend of the Barmy Army, and we've not had him on the pod. He's been on Barmy Meets, though, hasn't he, Chris, with you? He has, an absolute legend. Just for the record, Woody is a massive fan of the Barmy Army, and everyone, I think just in cricket, if you're an England fan, he's just a fan's favourite, isn't he? What a character, what an absolute legend. I'm sure you're going to enlighten people to what he's been up to in the 3-day game.
Exactly. Well, I tell you what, we'll if the people watching on YouTube, here's the video, and also I'll play the audio of him singing a really bad version of Jerusalem. So here we go. Right, there we go. I'll just edit that in. So I mean, first of all, Chris,
I think it's really good, mate. Like, you say a really bad version of Jerusalem. Have you ever tried singing Jerusalem a cappella on your own? It's not the easiest tune to sing. I'm no singing expert, but I know it's quite tough. And he didn't do bad there. And the fact that he got a broom out the groundsman's shed and a white towel looking like he's waving a flag, what an absolute hero. Barmy legend. And thanks, Mark Wood, for doing that. We absolutely loved it. I think the whole cricket community loved it.
What did he tweet? He tweeted something like, "I've got your back, Barmy.
I've got your back, lads. Don't worry. Or got your back, England's Barmy Army." What
brilliant. Love that. Yeah, that was great. We need to get him on the podcast at some point as well. But if you do want to watch back, you can go and see him on Barmy Meets on the YouTube channel. Also, keep your messages coming in. I know it's been a little while as to why we've not done one of these. It's been slightly delayed.
We've tried, haven't we, lads? We have tried.
We did try. And, I mean, we'll get Brezzy to kind of touch on it a little bit. But basically, Tim Bresnan, the cat's out the bag now. He's signed for Warwickshire from Yorkshire. He's left after, spent pretty much his whole life there at Yorkshire. And when we tried recording this podcast the other week with him, he popped up and he was stood at the side of a road, wasn't he? And I thought,
that was the second time he cancelled us. He cancelled on us on a Friday, didn't he?
Yeah.
Can we edit the picture in as well?
He was
we'll stick the picture in.
He was initially driving back from Birmingham, and we couldn't say why it had been cancelled, which is fair enough. So then we thought, well, I'll do it on Monday instead. No worries, mate. Got to Monday, we ring him, and he's like, oh, I'm just driving down to Birmingham with the wife and kids, going to look at schools tomorrow. But hang on, I'll just pull over and we'll do it. So we're all looking at each other, going, no, mate, it's all right. You just carry on driving, pal. We don't. And before we knew it, he'd logged in to our meeting. And he propped the phone up on, like, I don't know if it was like a bin or a bar at Leicester Forest East Services, whatever service station he was at.
Well, he's definitely on the hard shoulder, I think, on the M1. He
was willing to do the podcast right next to the M1. So,
great bloke for showing willing. What would have been funny is if we'd have all gone, yeah, okay, yeah, you're doing it. He'd have had to do it. His wife and kids had been sat in the car. But no, fair enough. So anyway, we finally sort of managed to pin him down. So that's great. And, we wish him all the best at Warwickshire, of course. We'll hear more about that on the podcast as well. Also, do keep your emails and stuff coming in. We've got loads of questions to ask Brezzy from the Barmy Army members. So thank you very much for those. But Chris, we've had some more correspondence, haven't we?
We have, yeah, we have indeed. And now this is from Luke Burton from Taunton. Now, Luke, apologies, we're going to get a bit stuck into here. But hi, Greggy, the hair band warrior, and the Millard-inator. Not a great nickname, but the only one other would be Goldilocks. Luke, very creative, mate. Yes, I've got long hair. Yes, they're blonde. And yes, I have been called Goldilocks before, and I don't mind it. But the Millard-inator is absolutely shocking. The Burtonator. So, thanks for your efforts, but probably wind it in a bit. After listening to some other nicknames that Brooksy gets called, Brooko, Brookie, I think the hairband warrior is the best. Plus, he conquered the headband market and has often, and it's now caught on. Leachy's pink one at Headingley, and now Jimmy and Brody wearing them due to coronavirus. I'm not sure they're wearing headbands due to coronavirus, but mainly due to not being able to get a haircut. What do you think, Brooksy, by the way? It's a very good point to everyone now.
I think the hairband warrior's shocking nickname. It needs to stop.
It's stuck. It's been on the last 2 or 3 podcasts.
About the headband.
You two pricks are going to have to stop calling me it as well.
About bit harsh, but about the hairband, Brooksy, it's quite a big thing for cricket. Like, all of a sudden, to be a fast bowler and play for England, you have to wear a headband. What do you think?
Just missed the boat, haven't I? I've been missing about for 10 years.
I suppose you were like...
I'm enjoying and respecting the fact that the lads are embracing it. When they were training with it on, I was like, cool, some bandanas flying around, look pretty sweet. And then they've actually gone through with it in the practice game. Hopefully they'll still wear them in the test matches.
I reckon I'd back them.
Get a lid cut, then I'll be disappointed. But it's good to see quite a few on the circuit. I even saw a clip of Steve Finn bowling in one today.
Do you rate yourself, Brooksy, like Michael Jordan bringing Nike, making it cool for the basketball world, as we've all seen the doc? Are you the same for the headband in cricket?
Well,
own it, Brooks. You just own it. Just say, yeah, I am.
Yes,
Come on, don't play it down.
I wasn't the first person to do it, was I? I was just merely carrying the baton of like the likes of Dennis Lilly back in the day, and Dizzy wore one for a bit. And obviously, a few tennis players wear them, but in fact, I've been wearing an old school sweatband for years. I suppose. Yeah. You know, I'm through it thick and thin.
All I'm going to say is how many club shops at county grounds up and down the country have ever had their own kind of line of them due to one of their players wearing them. Just saying, because Yorkshire had it, didn't they? They had it in the Headingley club shop.
Northants, Yorkshire, Somerset.
Well, there we go. If you sign Jack Brooks, you've got to sell headbands in your shop. So,
absolutely. And all you Saturday club sides out there, counts for you as well when Brooksy comes calling. I know you've just signed for one in Taunton. I hope they've got the headbands ready.
Why don't we just ask our listeners to send some photos of them wearing headbands or doing something at home or playing cricket if they're training again?
The headband pod.
Let's see some good. Who's got the best headband pics to send in?
And we'll give you a free one if you win it. The one that Brooksy's wore as well.
Barmy Army one. The Barmy Army going to have to
Barmy
start
Army
doing
one. Would you wear one if we did a branded one?
I don't know if you could wear branded stuff because you get fined, I think.
That's a shame.
Can't have a sponsor on it, I think. It's a bit...
Millard's eyes have lit up. He's spotted it.
Unless you pay me more than the fine, then yeah.
Yep. I've actually just thought, what if we could give them all the England boys as well?
Yeah. I'm sure you could get some of the lads to wear them if you branched out. I'm surprised you haven't got them anyway because they're just easy to wear, but I suppose if you're in Colombo watching cricket or Brisbane, the last thing you want to do is get a headband on.
It keeps the sweat out your eyes. Keeps the sun cream and sweat out your eyes. So cricket back, probably this week or in the next couple of days as you're listening to this podcast. We're not sure when we're putting it out or watching it as you see it. So I think that's pretty much everything. I mean, Tim Bresnan's a great guest. Brooks, you had so much success with Brezzy on the field. And I'm led to believe that he's a proper character off it as well.
He's one of the nicest blokes you'll meet. Absolute legend. I wouldn't believe every story he says. He does like pin a bit of tax on some of his stories, particularly about himself. But he's very entertaining. He's very funny when he's not trying to be funny. And he's just an all-round top guy. You know what you're getting with him. And he's just a good bloke to go for a beer with or have a chat with. And he's got a shocking memory with his cricket. So he's played for Yorkshire for nearly 20 years. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes him to remember things. But he's going to be a fantastic guest for us on. I hope the listeners enjoy this episode.
Sure. And Chris, his Barmy Army song, I mean, we're not going to try and attempt to sing it, but it basically involves a load of naan breads references, and then basically everyone says the favourite naan is Tim Bresnan, and I think it's the best Barmy Army song ever. So we'll see if he likes it.
I've been known to ask in a curry house for a Tim Bresnan before, and they do look at you gone out. And some people get what you do with it, but it is a common joke when I've had more than 5 pints in a curry house.
Perfect. Love it. Well, we'll ask him about that. We'll get into loads of different stuff. All the questions as well that you've sent in. Thank you very much, listeners and viewers, for those. But in the meantime, let's get into it. Let's get chatting to him. And thanks again for downloading and watching the Shackles Rock podcast and Barmy Meets. Right, we'll start off, Tim. First of all, I mean, we'll go through sort of your career and stuff to get things off. But we want to just have a little chat to you. So, first of all, congrats on the move to Warwickshire. That's something very different. And when we sort of work and record this podcast, it's nice to see you inside, by the way. We did have a first stab last week, and you were sort of sat in a car park or something somewhere, weren't you? I mean, really good of you to come and do it again.
Well, it wasn't the best, was it? I was just because obviously Brooks had texted me and said, "Mate, let's do this." I was like, "Yeah, no worries," and then totally forgot because the wife said, "Oh, why don't we just drive down now?" And it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Why don't we just drive down now and have a look around? I was like, not sure about that one. Like, we'll get somewhere to stay. I was like, right, okay. So I just trawled the internet, found an Airbnb or something. Not sure whether we were even allowed to even do that. Yeah. With all the COVID and stuff, but anyway. No one's listening to this anyway. We're the Dominic Cummings, aren't we? The Dominic Cummings of cricket.
But it's a bit of a whirlwind. It's strange though, isn't it? Because you've obviously been at Yorkshire since you were young, and then next thing you're like up in sticks. And I bet all of it's completely alien and new, isn't it? The whole thing. So,
well, yeah, ridiculously so. Obviously, I've played in other teams and stuff like around the world, so that's not exactly new. And I know all the boys as well at Warwickshire, so you know it's more of a comfortable environment than say joining a select sixes. Let's say, but like taking all the family and changing schools and all that sort of stuff, yeah, it's massive for them, and it's all my fault. So
it's nice. I mean, so you know, when you started, you were part of sort of a mad cricketing family in. Is it Townville? Was it Townville Cricket Club? Is that as Google told me correctly?
Well,
what was that like?
I was more Castleford than Townville, so I played like junior cricket at Townville. But it was Castleford that gave me my first real go in playing big mister stuff, so to speak. Yeah, one of the first games I played was at Sheffield Collegiate, actually.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, big clubs though. You know, both Castleford and whatever, played in the Yorkshire League and all that stuff. So, yeah. What age were you one of these kids who at like 14 was playing in the ones and scoring 100 and taking 5 for every week, or
yeah,
was it?
I was 12.
Outstanding.
Or you're like a bit of a late bloom. So you weren't a late bloomer. I mean, if you're doing that when you're 12, you're obviously awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I was child prodigy, or whatever. Protege. Yeah. I don't know.
No,
I was
protege.
Direct opposite to Jack Brooks. Let's just say that.
Yeah, we both found a similar route, mate, and sat next to each other for a few years, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I enjoyed sitting next to you.
Oh.
Especially like watching him cut his toenails. Oh.
What was he like, Tim? Was he messy?
He's all right, like cleanliness wise. He always smelt good. But watching him, he's got like hobbit's feet. Watching him like cut his toenails. Oh my god.
Yeah, I've struggled with my feet over the years, but I tried to keep myself tidy because we didn't have a lot of space. When you were away with England, I had a lot more space in that corner, and then when Pudsey played, because I had Liam one side and you the other, two big blokes with not a lot of space and kit everywhere. A few times I went home with one of you or his thigh pad or bits of kit. So good fun though. It was good.
Great
Good
story,
corner.
Jack.
Yeah. Where was that going?
I was like, oh, Cal was going to pop in there at one point, wasn't he?
Nah, not at all, mate. Not quite, mate.
Carl's still out there, apparently. I saw Bessie post on your Instagram, Jack, yesterday, a new home for Carl.
Still doing the rounds, mate. He's
I'm not sure our viewers or listeners are actually aware of Carl's existence. I think we might have mentioned him early doors, but being sort of kept under the radar a little bit, Brooksy, actually.
It's just my back cone I carry everywhere.
Your grit putter on her.
I'll say quickly, though, before we move on with Brez, like, completely sympathise how probably stressful it's been for a couple of weeks, obviously, with the move and working out what you're doing. It's been a mad few weeks for you, mate, but really want to wish you well for the future, because I know how it is leaving clubs, and you're leaving your home as well, so obviously you've been amazing for Yorkshire, and you were fantastic with me personally when I joined, and we've shared some good memories, so I'm sure you look back.
Jack, didn't you? You moved from home, you turned out just fine, so
it's not that scary. It's not that scary really, mate. Once you're settled, you'll be fine. You know, like, there's a couple of Yorkie lads. You've got Rhodesy, Ollie, Farbrace has coached at Yorkshire. You've got Belly, you probably know quite well as well.
Yeah, I know most of the boys. I'll be absolutely fine. Yeah, just really excited to just get down there now and get cracking. So.
Yeah, I can imagine. What were your? It's interesting, Brezzy, because you know when I think of you as a cricketer, I think of you in two different kits. One is obviously the sort of 2010-11 Ashes white top, you know, with the Vodafone on and all that, and then the other one is an England ODI shirt, and you've had great success in both. Obviously, you've won a World Cup, 2 Ashes. What were your ambitions starting off? Because I can't imagine that, you know, when you're like 14, 15, 16, and you're sort of getting into the Yorkshire setup and all that kind of stuff, that you would have imagined, I mean, maybe you did, but imagine that you'd had all that success that you've had, because it's, you know, amazing. Not many cricketers get to that level. So that's testament to your ability, really.
Yeah, I didn't really have any sort of goals or anything like that. I just really, really enjoyed playing cricket.
Yeah.
And it only really got serious after, I suppose I needed the money to survive with. Like, moving out of home and, like, you know, getting a mortgage and all that sort of stuff, having to pay your own bills and stuff. That's when it got serious for me. But all leading up to that point, it was just, you know, just a good laugh, really, and that I enjoyed, that I was quite good at. So obviously I played when I was 16 in the Yorkshire first team. So like from 16 to 18, those 2 years, like I was still living at home. Like I'd only just passed my driving test, like in the second year. So yeah, it was just like they were just, to quote Wolf of Wall Street, fun coupons. That's all they were. Until I got a mortgage, and then it got, oh crap, I've got bills to pay now. So yeah, that's when cricket got serious, and that's when, you know, I sort of changed my, I don't know, sort of perspective a little bit onto, right, okay, well, how good can I actually get at this? You know, how far can I actually go? And that's the only time really that I actually, you know, challenged myself, or started challenging myself.
Yeah.
What was it like in the Yorkshire change room when you started as a young nipper like that? I've heard stories from you before, but I'm sure our listeners would be keen.
Carnage, absolute carnage. Do you know what? I've just been cleaning the garage out this afternoon, so I literally filled, you know, them England coffins with zips on that go around. I filled 9 of those and donated them to the local cricket club, like just with old kit and shirts and all sorts, like tracksuits. Because simply when we moved to Birmingham, I just won't have the room. Like I won't have any space to be able to keep it. So I took all the best bits out and like saved myself a couple of bags full of kit. But on one of the shirts that I've saved is from, it's signed by Ian Harvey, and he was like one of the first overseas that I played with. And it's a yellow. So I played with Buff. And back then it was 2 overseas. Buff and Ian Harvey actually played in the same team. Wow. You can imagine what they were like. So
had a drink or two then?
Oh yeah, he actually signed his shirt to me. Brez, all the best, mate. Keep that drink in hand warm until I get back.
Relative.
And that pretty much just epitomised like the culture that we had back then. Like we're talking, it was early 2000, like 2002, 2003. The professionalism was not nearly what it is now.
Yeah.
When did you see that shift, Tim? When did you think?
I think I missed it, mate. I totally missed it.
Class.
Yeah, I still play the old way. No, I think it was probably my first pre-season after a massive break with Yorkshire, because obviously I was on the England like gravy train for a bit. Like that's like you're in your own little bubble. You just literally, like all these bags, they had UPS stickers on them. Like, so basically you pack all your crap into one bag with all your red ball kit at the end of a series, and you leave it in a room and it just gets like mailed to your house no matter where you are in the world. Like they've got so many stickers on. I was like, what's that? That's been through a few airports, like Turkmenistan and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, I can't remember going there. But it's the bags that end up like getting shipped all over. Anyway, digress. But yeah, like my first pre-season back, sort of, what was it, Jack? Probably 2014, maybe.
Was it not 15 for you?
Might have been 15. So like I missed maybe 2008 to 2015, and I think that's when it got. Somewhere in that period, I obviously missed it.
Did you go to Sri Lanka on pre-season with Yorkshire in 2014?
No, I missed that one.
Okay. Yeah, that was 14.
He was on the England tour getting pissed with all us lot instead.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Was that Sri Lanka that year?
Yeah, we went to Sri Lanka the year we won it for the first time.
Yeah.
And the second year we obviously went to Abu Dhabi, but you were there for that one, weren't you?
Yeah, I played in Abu Dhabi. Yeah.
Quality. Yeah. I mean, so like I was listening to Michael Vaughan on something the other week, and he was saying that when he first started,
talking about recreational cricket by any chance?
He's been talking about that a lot this week, hasn't he? Dear me, someone's got to bang the drum, I suppose.
Yeah, fair play.
Otherwise, they won't be able to use Brezzy's kit that he's donated. Otherwise, it's all gone to waste, hasn't it? So, yeah. I mean, he was saying that when he started, he was like early '90s when he started, and he was saying that was like too unprofessional. He said at some point in the middle, sort of early noughties, it was perfect. He said, and by the end, it was just like, nah, not for me. Yeah. But so, you've kind of been in that, you were just starting in that bit that he sort of described as being perfect.
Yeah.
Do you have the same take on it? Because there's that culture that you mentioned, and for a young lad, I mean, that's got to be a massive part of the enjoyment factor as well, because, who's this young lad coming in and, sort of, you've got to earn your stripes, basically, haven't you? It probably made you a tougher player for it, really.
Oh, yeah. I think you've got to be, you've got to be able to drink as well.
Yeah.
But, I think that's where you do a lot of learning, though, as well. I learned a hell of a lot from listening and talking and asking questions rather than, at practice where you're working on one-on-one and stuff. Like, to learn the intricacies of the game, which is a massive game of chess at points, isn't it? It's like, well,
yeah,
just, and as well, not my own teammates, but the oppositions as well. I remember being really young and we'd finished in 3 days and we'd gone out, both teams, Somerset, got properly mangled on Scrumpy or whatever it is. And I talked to Charles Langerfeld for hours and hours, just chewed his ear off, about reverse swing and about bowling bouncers and stuff like that. But he collared me. He's like, "Come here, young'un, let's have a chat." Do you know what I mean? And that's what's nice about that sort of environment and that era where it wasn't taboo to go and ask, people for help, and it wasn't, if you do it in the bar when you're having a few drinks, you're going to forget a lot of it, but some of it's going to stick, and the bits that do stick are no doubt worth remembering.
I mean, without naming names, I'm guessing that you've probably seen some of the younger lads now who they might be in an England under-19 setup or something when they're 18, 19, and then you see them at Yorkshire or sort of on the county circuit, and they're taking it far too seriously. Yeah. And they don't have that, that fun side, if you like. You hear stories about Freddie and stuff when he was on 19s, and it's just like a different world to what it is now. You think that you'd never be able to get away with that now because you'd have coaches all over you and sending you home and banning you and all that. Yeah. Do you think that a lot of them take it a bit too? They're trying to be professional too young now.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, you have got to enjoy your youth. Otherwise it's going to pass you by. And this is a great way of enjoying your youth, is playing cricket. You travel. You have a lot of downtime. You're basically travelling around the world or whatever the country with 11 of your mates, staying in hotels and stuff like that. Professional cricket is probably the best lifestyle of any sport, apart from golf, I reckon. But golf, you're on your own as well, aren't you?
Yeah. So
cricket, I'd probably put up there. And you can have a few beers and relax and stuff on an evening. There's nothing to stop you. But yeah, when the lads come down with protein shakes at bar and stuff, it doesn't really grab me. It's not inspiring me.
It depends what the environment's like, I suppose. When the coaches set out, for some coaches would be like, yeah, go and have your beers or whatever, but if you're not performing, we'll use it against you. So a lot of youngsters would be a bit afraid to do it as well, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Did you try and bring anyone into Guinness Club? When I was playing there, Brez, Livy and Hoddy, I think it was, formed Guinness Club, which was a away game thing, wasn't it?
It was an away game thing. It actually worked for a long time, didn't it? We had unbelievable success for 3 years of Guinness Club.
Back-to-back Jampos, that's the key, that's the secret.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
The key, yeah.
We had a lot of. We actually had Joe Root paid his subscription and wrote a letter to the chairman to join Guinness Club.
Quality.
And then who was the chairman? Were you the chairman of Guinness Club?
Hod was the chairman, and then when he retired, he sort of passed the baton on.
He loved it. You don't even really see Hoddy on the odd home win or obviously in away games. He lived for that. So obviously Lyle and Brezzy's young dad as well. Any chance to sort of stay up for a couple of drinks in the hotel bar.
Couple of drinks and then you're still getting more kip anyway than what you do at home.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
But they were very sort of right. This is our little bubble.
Yeah. Nice. I like that. When you got called up for England, Tim, because obviously Barmy Army podcast and a lot of the listeners and stuff are very fond of what you've done in an England shirt. We'll come on to your song in just a moment because I think it's one of the GOAT songs. No, you're not a fan. Not a fan of your song.
Try to get. I was in Sri Lanka. I think it was 2012. Try to get Billy to rewrite it, but he was having none of it.
No matter whether you like it or not, once you've got your song, that's it, isn't it? Yeah. Feel sorry for Jimmy. He's been the best bowler we've ever seen, and he's got the worst song ever. So
yeah. Is that the garlic naan one? Is that the one you're referring to?
Yeah. Shocking, isn't it?
I like it, mate. I think it's good.
It's a belter.
it's good. It's right. I mean, what was that like? Getting called up for England, and then all of a sudden, because there is a big difference now, isn't there? 40 years ago, there was, you'd get packed out at Headingley for a Champo game, and now obviously you've got the T20 nights, which are really exciting, and that's like the razzmatazz. But you're playing for England, and you've got like a load of nutters stood on a bank in some far-flung corner of the world, the Barmy Army, singing your name and going absolutely berserk, and it's like the closest you can get to, I don't know, playing in front of 30,000 Ellen Road, isn't it, I suppose, in many ways. So what was that like? What was your first kind of experiences of it like?
It was my first overseas tour. Obviously, back then they didn't really frequent the home games. I'm not sure why, but my first away tour was Bangladesh. And that's where the naan bread thing came from. Yeah. Because obviously they were devouring naan breads at a rate of knots. Curry count 97.
What was your record for England, Brez? Did you play your first 13 were all wins or something like that?
You just literally. You got Wikipedia in front of you, Ross?
No, I just remember.
He's a cricket badger. That's why, Brez.
He is a badger, closet badger.
We all are, aren't we? Students of the game.
Yeah.
Students of the game. Wow, love that.
Yeah, was it 13 tests, Brez?
Something like that. I think I was too short of one shot of Gilchrist, I think. It was either 12 or 13.
Pretty cool. So whenever you play for England, you just win a game.
That was tests only, though, not one just tests.
When you were playing for England, Tim, what was it like first walking into that England dressing room? Who were you like looking up to as your people that you were going to try and impress or try and take note of?
Well, my first sort of experience was Sri Lanka. I played a couple of one days. Sri Lanka in 2006, I think, or 2000. It had to be 6, 7, something around there. And there was like 8 debutants, so it was a totally new sort of feeling and atmosphere, and so I didn't really get a sense of it. Obviously, like KP was there, Strauss was there, and who else was there? A few others, Cookie maybe. But yeah, like that was all I really knew, because there were like 9 other lads that were like shitting their pants as well, you know. So it wasn't until sort of I had my second go around that it was like, right, this is it now. Like walking into a bit more of a settled team, and that. But then again, like because I played county cricket since I was like 12 or something, like I knew pretty much everyone on the circuit anyway, and played against them. And
Brez is the biggest dog out there. That's what he's trying to say. That everyone looks up to him.
I'm not the biggest. I'm not the biggest dog. Mate. No.
He's pretty big though, you know.
I'm the oldest dog now.
Oldest dog.
No, Steve-O's the oldest dog still, isn't he?
Oh, I'm older than you, bro.
Yeah, you are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Wow.
Can't you tell by his forehead?
Well, yeah, he obviously looks it.
You creatures.
I want to know about the T20 World Cup win because I've watched it back. You know, when they keep playing them in the lockdown and they keep showing them back, and I thought, oh, I'll sit and watch this for an hour or whatever. It's so good because you just look like you're all loving it. It's like, right, we're going to turn up and we're going to win. That was it, and there was no song and dance about it, and it was like no sort of. I'd want to say there's no plan. I mean, obviously, there was planning going into it. But, you know, like we've had this 4-year cycle for England to win the last, you know, the World Cup. And then the T20 World Cup, it seemed like, right, we're a good bunch of lads. We're going to go over there. We're going to win it. No song and dance. Done.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. We were confident. And from the start of the tournament, I think that from the first game of the tournament, that was the first time those 11 had come together.
Right.
I think those 11 pretty much went all the way through, apart from a swap here and there, maybe for Kevin, Ravi, or something like that. But like after the group stages, pretty much everyone knew their role. Everyone knew exactly when they were going to bowl, or when when it was probably if I'm not on now, I'm not getting a gig. You know what I mean? And so but everyone knew how they were going to play when they batted. Like, everyone knew exactly what role they were doing. In fact, everyone knew exactly where they were fielding as well. So Collie, even though it was like super intense, super organised on the field, like it was very let's take it to the opposition. Like, let's dominate them. Like, we don't care what they're going to do. We're just going to do it better than them, or we're going to just be more aggressive. Or and it was a lot of fun to play cricket like that.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
Was it in Barbados where you won it?
Yeah.
So what was it like to win a? Yeah, what was it like to win a World Cup in Barbados? Celebrations, all right?
Unbelievable, Jack.
Free bar, innit? Harbour Lights.
It was. Do you know what? I can't remember buying a drink, so
it must have been.
I don't know. People were offering to buy me them. I'm not sure whether or not it was free.
Free bar, mate. They just wanted a picture.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That's so good.
We asked Belly if he could go back over his England career and have like one match or one celebration again. He would have chosen Sydney after the Ashes win. Would you go back to that one as well in your England career?
Hang on, I'm just trying to remember Sydney.
You just won the Ashes 2-1, mate. Was it 3-1?
Sydney.
Like, sat on the outfield, he reckoned.
Oh, yeah. Sat on the outfield, and then we had a few in the sheds, and then a few more in the sheds. I think we stayed in the sheds for ages, and then we got back, got changed. I think we picked the girls up, and then we went and found a Barmy Army bar, actually.
Yeah, cargo bar on
That's the one.
Darling Harbour.
And we got in the service elevator. We got smuggled in the back door, and when we got in there, there were like 5 or 6 lads already in there, and they were up on stage singing their own songs to the Barmy Army.
Remember, Jimmy was saying it last week about he came on and he was him and Pryor yourself were pouring pints for everyone in the Barmy Army. It was
that's right,
a surreal day.
It was ridiculous. Yeah, that's Sydney. Yeah,
quality.
That's great. Oh,
actually, most of the Barmy Army came on my stag do.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us about
that,
a
story.
Well, I had it in Colombo.
Wow.
I mean, why not? You know, why not have your stag do in Colombo, Brez?
Well, yeah, I only had 10 days in between series, and that's when we decided to get married. So my wife flew out to Colombo, and then we went to the Maldives and did it a couple of days after the end of the test tour over there. Cool. And the Barmy Army weren't flying out until the day after next. And most of the lads had to leave for the airport at, it's like something stupid like 3 a.m. So Reggie's like rounding them up out of the hotel bar and sticking them on the bus with their suitcases, like getting their jeans off them and putting tracksuits on them and just like throwing their jeans and stuff out the window of the bus, like so they can get checked in and stuff. But I was there until the next afternoon. So after 3 a.m., I think I actually went up with is it Minty, the guy who goes, that guy.
Oh yeah, Big Graham.
Big Graham.
Yeah. Legend.
Yeah, and he made me a what's his favourite with the
Big J. Oh,
the tomato juice and the Worcester
Bloody
sauce.
Bloody Mary.
Oh my God! Whoa.
Yeah. Brutal.
Yeah, after a test win, 40-degree heat, and about 5
He
tigers.
doesn't drink one, does he? He doesn't drink one.
And it was the strongest thing I've ever put in my mouth as well, and like fiery. Yeah,
Brilliant, legend. What a great story.
That's great. That.
Yeah, that's why I was chatting to Billy about changing my song, and Gilo.
Yeah,
like, lads, soy out. It's shit. It's terrible. Like, I don't even eat naan bread.
That's why I don't like it, innit?
Yeah. They were like, oh, well, what can we change it to? I was like, well, what about this or what about that? They were like, nah. You can't write your own song, mate. Fuck off. Like, get them in then.
Yeah. Doesn't matter who you are, mate. You can't write your own.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. We'll come on to the members' questions in a moment because they've sort of sent us a few in, so thank you for those. Look, 10-11, that's like a lot of people in the Barmy Army's favourite tour, obviously, for obvious reasons, and you've talked about the celebrations and stuff after. On the pitch, because we've talked about a lot of stuff off the pitch. I mean, look, you got the wickets of Ponting, Watson, Hussey, Hilfenhaus in that famous test at the MCG. And then obviously the sprinkler and stuff afterwards, and just like absolutely lapping it up. Is that the absolute pinnacle? Is that the best it gets in cricket? I mean, yeah, because there's nothing really compares, is there?
Oh no, I think the first day of that test, Boxing Day, was probably the best day I've ever had on a cricket field. Yeah. Like having them all out for 96 just after lunch, and then like going back into the dining room getting seconds. And then, yeah. And then by tea, like coming back out after tea, and there's only 40,000 Barmy Army in the ground. All the Australians had just gone home. It was brilliant. Like, fuck this, mate. Let's just go have a nice Boxing Day. We'll go throw a shrimp on barbie or whatever you do on Boxing Day in Australia. But yeah, back to cricket. These guys are shit. Absolutely brilliant.
Did you ever cop it from the Aussie supporters or players or anything?
Not at the MCG.
No, but ever in your career?
They're all fucked off after tea.
Brilliant. Just because like you obviously had a stint with the Scorchers as well, so I wonder what it was like going into a completely different stadium.
It is like Perth. I copped it at Perth. Like probably worse than anywhere else. Obviously,
they're a bit weird out there, aren't they?
Yeah. But I played obviously my last test in Perth before I started playing for the Scorchers. So I remember his name, the guy. What's his name? Obviously, because I played with the Scorchers as well. There's a guy who's absolute fanatical. He paints his face orange and all sorts, dyes his beard a lot, dyes his hair. Like, he's famous. Can't remember his name. He's not that famous, is he?
He's really well known, but I don't know what his name is.
Yeah. He's really well known in Perth. Anyway, massive. He's a bogan. He's a proper bogan as well. So yeah, he abused me while we were playing there for England, and then as like I got sent down first game for the Scorchers, I got sent down towards the old where I thought I was going to cop a bit, and oh my god, it was amazing. Like, oh, Brezzy, we'll have you, mate. Yeah, fucking legend, mate. I'm like, wow, this is quality. It's a bit different playing here as a Perth Scorcher than it is playing as an England player. But yeah, no, that was totally different. Same all over Australia. If you're playing in a big bash, like you got a lot of fans. I think obviously it helped the way we played that series as well. We got the fans on side, but I think Aussies just appreciate good cricket as well.
Yeah, except if they're losing, then they don't appreciate it at all.
Yeah,
if it's against them. And just Brezzy, talking about the MCG test, that spell of bowling that you bowled, is that your most memorable spell when you got out Watson, Ponting, who else?
Well, not really.
Worcester
you go
away
through the
like
wickets.
2015 was pretty good.
Probably, yeah. I mean, Ponting left. Watson left a straight one. Ponting's dirty drag on. Hussey I probably got my wrist a little bit wrong, and it came out sort of half a mile an hour slower, and he just chipped it to cover. Well, Silverhouse. That was probably only genuine dismissal. The rest of them were a bit soft.
I think you're being very honest there, to be fair.
No, I bowled better than that. Like, I bowled unbelievably at Trent Bridge.
There you go. This is the Brezzy match.
It's a what?
That's the Brezzy I know.
What?
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was unbelievable at Trent Bridge. I got a wicket. It's called, Google it or like get it on YouTube or something. Mukund, his name. Like the Indians had racked off DRS, haven't they? Because they didn't like it.
Yeah.
So we were pissing in our pants every time they got one wrong the umps, and it went for us. So I bowled him a bounce and he's gone like that and he's fended at it. Sorry, left-handed, fended at it. Missed his glove by that much, but it swung after the bat, and Strauss has got it at first slip on his right ear. Like that, and Umps just stood with his finger on it. I was like, he's missed it by a foot, but we're all like that.
Brilliant. Love that.
It's unbelievable. Try and look for it on YouTube or something like that. It's probably one of the worst dismissals. Best dismissal I've ever seen. Because it was I've never seen one do that. Look like he's and then swing to slip. Genius. That's Love just it. How good I was in that series. Swinging it after the bat as well.
We'll come on to the Barmy Meets questions then. So this podcast, we do it sort of in conjunction now with Barmy Meets, which is on the Barmy Army YouTube channel. Thanks to all the members, by the way, who've got in touch and sent in questions. And if you are watching, nice one. And you can see that Brezzy's got a lovely professional setup, actually. But if you're on the podcast, well, you can't see him. But
I've been doing my own podcast, actually. If you want to give that a listen to all the.
All right, go on then. I mean, we're happy to plug the podcast because we're number one. So yeah, go on, Brezzy.
Well, we were number one for a couple of weeks. We're called Covers Off. Oh, I've had to leave now though, so I'm no longer hosting.
Are you changing the name to Brezzy's Off?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, the new podcast, Brezzy's Off. No, it's Covers Off, the Yorkshire Cricket Podcast. It's actually, well, I can't speak for it now, obviously, because I'm no part of it. But it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was quite good. I listened to a couple of episodes, Brez. It was very amusing.
Have you heard the Magsy one?
Yeah, well, that was the first one I listened to.
Genius. The
Belter,
genius. Yeah,
Belter. Funniest man in cricket.
We'll have a listen to that. Yeah, I mean, we don't mind plugging him. I mean, that's annoying, that, isn't it? That you're off to Warwickshire, so you're being booted off the Yorkshire pod as well.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Well, to be fair, no, I can't say this, but it was actually a really, really bad, underhanded dig. It wouldn't have come across well, what I was about to say.
But we'll never know.
No, you won't.
Oh dear. We'll get on to the Barmy Meets questions then, pal, to move swiftly onwards from that. So the first one we got in from Tom Jackson. Now this is one that might have to rack your brains a little bit. He asks, can you name your top 5 grounds that you've played at? So I'll give you a little bit of thinking time, unless that you're just going to roll them straight off the tongue. I'm guessing Headingley's up there.
No.
No. Okay.
It's obviously Edgbaston, mate.
Yeah.
Well, Edgbaston is one, actually.
Yeah, what a place.
The Holly stand is ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some of the things I've seen in that stand, playing there for England. One of my favourite memories in cricket actually is watching Spider-Man climb to the top of the stand. Shin up the pole. He was shinning up the pole, and the coppers at the bottom just looking at each other going, well, you go get him then, mate. He's literally at the top just going, brilliant.
Quality.
Yeah, so probably I go Lords, Newlands, Edgbaston, Sydney, Scarbados.
Quality. Good list, that. Very good list.
Scarbados.
No, Scarbados.
Yeah, Scarbados,
yeah.
Yeah, Scarborough.
Yeah. There's no other ADOS anywhere, is there?
No.
Next, who's asking next? Is it you, Chris?
I'm in. Now, Martin, thanks for your question. You've not left your last name, so we'll never know who you are. Can Tim tell us how he is keeping fit during lockdown? Also, does he expect a call up from Chris Silverwood as they both come from Ponty?
Cheers, Martin. I've been on the bike, actually. I've become a bit of a cycling badger during lockdown.
Now I've got something for you on that then, Brez. So I've been we were chatting, as you know, we sort of, know Joe a little bit, and we were sort of saying to him, and he's obsessed with the Peloton and stuff, and he's got the fancy Peloton thing. So I was saying to him, I said, what are your numbers like? Because I know Michael Vaughan's obsessed with it, Lee Westwood, the golfer, and a few others, and they're always posting on Instagram and challenging each other. And
a bit of a clique, in it? There's a bit of a clique there.
It is. Danny Willett as well. Well, so I was chatting to Joe about this, and he said, I can't believe the numbers are ridiculous. Anyway, he finds out off the England physio that apparently Varney and Westwood have been given theirs free, and they're being given a cheat code to embellish their scores.
Bullshit.
Can you believe that? So then Varney's posting.
Yes, I can believe.
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so can I.
Westwood's got a right gut on him.
I know, and it's like they're both like well over 40, and they're smashing Stokesy, Butler, Joe to absolute pieces on it.
Oh,
so
is that why? There's a bit of foul play going on.
Yeah, so I just thought I'd enlighten you. If you were looking at Varney's Instagram and going, bloody hell, at least why.
No, I wasn't, to be honest.
Fine, fair enough.
Anyway, on.
Gin o'clock.
Yeah. We're gonna have to get him on, aren't we?
You got to get him on. I'll tell you what, though, you won't get a word in. We had him on our podcast.
Right.
Jesus. Like, you literally just put 20 pence in and that's it.
And off he goes.
Yeah,
bang.
Yeah.
He might want a bit more than 20 pence off us, though, Brezzy, I tell you. Anyway, Brooksy, go on. Who's the next member's question?
Cheers, Phil Reynard. He said, hi, lads. You'll probably be getting a lot of questions about his England days. However, my question for Brez is, out of all the players, this is going to be a tough one for you, Brez, I think. Out of all the players that you play with for Yorkshire, are you able to name your best 11 that you played with during your time there?
Yeah, I did it the other day, actually. So it's not that hard.
Is Brooksy in there before or do we need to kick him out and let him back in?
I doubt it, with the amount of good seamers that Yorkshire have had that Brez has played with.
Brooksy wasn't far off. We obviously went into more detail, but I'll give you the rundown. This includes multiple overseas, though. So I'm going Lythe, Rudolph, McGrath, Root, Lehman, Gibbs. Do you know what I slipped up the other day because I didn't have a wicket keeper.
You didn't fit Johnny in.
I was like, it's all right. Balance will take the gloves. Be fine.
Quality.
So yeah, and then I had Blakey. Then the men put a keeper in Blakey. Balance was 12th man.
Right.
So
good drinks, but
yeah, unbelievable with drinks, isn't he? You get a wicket, it'd bring you 12 Jaeger bombs. Hey, one for me, lads. Then I had Rashid. I didn't pick myself. Then I had
three more to go.
Yeah, I had Goff,
City,
Silverwood,
Chalky,
side bottom.
Nice.
Serious side, isn't it?
Yeah. And you know what? You could have. I bet that was quite hard as well, wasn't it, Brez?
Picking the seamers. Yeah, picking the seamers is and I could have picked more overseas as well, because we've had some unbelievable overseas. Ridiculous.
Kane Williamson, for example.
Kane Williamson not make the side?
No.
Took school up to the top of that order.
Well, yeah, but would you go with Root or Williamson?
Well, you go Joe, obviously, don't you?
Obviously, yeah. Obviously.
And he listens to the pod, and I'm sure Kane doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, Kane might, Is that nice a bloke? He probably is listening.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, that's the right list of people, by the way, that you've played with. It's mad. Great to look at.
Serious question. Thanks, Phil.
Great question, that one. A great question.
Done,
next one is from Harold. Cheers, Harold. What is your best off? I mean, we've kind of had this already, but you might sort of bring up a few more. What is your best off-pitch memory from the 2010-11 Ashes tour?
It's not my just hearing the story of Pryor, Peterson, and Brody maybe just bowling out the back of that ambulance from Reg, the security man.
Never heard this. Not on the pod anyway. We've not heard this story.
How have you not heard this?
Go on, Brez.
So Perth, obviously we get there, climatisation. Tradition anyway, to just go have a massive bender, get yourself into time zone.
The only way.
Correct. So we're out in Subiaco or wherever. We hit this nightclub. Everyone's there, like Straussy, dad dancing, D-lot. Anyway, I get back about 4, I think. Something like that. But then you sleep until like 10 and then you're up and that's it. You're good for the day then. And then you just fight it and you try and stay awake until like 9 the following night. And then that's it. You've that's end of sort of acclimatisation. So yeah, like I get in about 4, a few lads dribs and drabs later. But the next day, Reg like sort of gets around the squad and he comes to see me. He's like, Brezzy, you know anything about lads in an ambulance? I was like, no, mate, I haven't heard it. Why? What's happened? He goes, oh, yeah, I got a call to the security manager's office at the hotel. And he said, got something you might want to look at for your lads. And he's like, oh, Jesus, what now? So about 5:25 in the morning, this ambulance pulls up. He's checking his notes. The security manager's like, yeah, I've not had a report of, and no one's called ambulance. Like, as you can see, no one called an ambulance. Anyway, about 15 seconds later, 3 of our lads have bowled straight out the back of this ambulance like that. Cheers, lads, thank you. Like getting rid of oxygen masks, throwing them back in. Apparently, they've been trying to get a taxi back from Subiaco, and it was an ex-pat paramedic. And he's seen him on the side of the road going, all right, lads, what's crack? He said, oh, we can't get home big and give us a lift. It's like, yeah, no worries, jump in.
Oh, world class. Absolutely world class.
So Reg, yeah, he was a little bit taken aback, so to speak. Didn't realise what had happened, like whether someone had been in a bit of a precarious situation or something. But nah, it's all good.
That's
brilliant.
Great.
Top question. Now, Alice Sutton has asked, Brez, can you tell us your best changing room prank you've seen or played?
One of the best I've heard, one of the best I've seen, Gavin Hamilton at Scarborough Cricket Club. So back in the day, they had the big, leather coffins or plastic coffin type things. I think they're coming back a little bit now, aren't they? A few England boys have got them. But yeah, they were a nightmare. You couldn't squash them in the back of your car or anything. They were terrible. But so Silver's had one with his name on, England numbers, like 3 lines on it, the lot. Gav, after play, Silver's has gone back to the hotel. He's gone to groundsman's shed, got a drill and 6 massive bolts and some spanners. Right, and he's drilled through the coffin, through the table that he'd put it on, and bolted it to the table with the socket set. Right. Washers and everything. Like, you wouldn't. We're all watching going, Gav, he's going to fucking do you. Like, don't do it, mate. He's like, yeah, be right. Puts his kit in exactly as he found it. Next 3 days pass. Not a dicky bird. No one's, like, he's not noticed anything like this. last day, packing our kit. I think it was a boring draw or something. Snipper's got his usual. He's been round at Snipper, so we're like lads like putting the socks through, like up to the kneecaps and stuff. Like crotches missing out your pants and that. So everyone's having a good old giggle about that. Anyway, everyone's in on this joke, so we all wait until Silvers has finished showering, packs his kit, and then goes to take his coffin off the table. Just go, what the hell? Pulls the table up with it. Like, he's going, what the hell? It took him nearly 2.5 hours to get his coffin unattached from that table. In fact, I think in the end, because he didn't have the socket set, he just had a little spanner from like upstairs in bar. He snapped the legs off the table and took the table top attached to his coffin in his car to the next game.
That is so good. Love it.
What a story. That's a belter.
That is a belter.
There's just been so many at Yorkshire. Al Morris with Max's fish pads. You've heard that one, haven't you? Al Morris. Remember Al Morris?
Yeah, but we've not heard this one either. Brezzy, this is brilliant.
Almo and batteries running low or whatever. Sorry. Hang on, you can edit this out, can't you?
Yeah.
Switch this on.
Quite excited for this story now.
Oh, mate, it's well worth it.
It's not. So, you know that like back in the day, they used to play 3 days and then break, play a Sunday league and then go back on the Monday and finish the game. Yeah. So baking at, I think it was at Sheffield Collegiate actually, or Doncaster, somewhere like that. One at Outgrounds, yeah. And Mags has been batting, got 180 odd. Like, anyway, they've all showered, changed. Mags had done something to Almo, so to get him back, he'd gone and asked his brother to get him a full cod from like fishmongers in town. Yeah, fishmongers in town. Mags has shut his pads away and stuff. Almo's literally stuck two cods, one behind each pad, right? They got back on the Monday to play the rest of the game, and it had been baking hot on the Sunday. Like, and it literally just stunk out, the flies, maggots, all sorts. Lads couldn't bear to go in there. So they all changed outside because of the smell. Like,
that's brilliant.
This is great. Super duper. Love it. Brooksy, is your question going to be able to top those?
Probably not. No, mine's a bit more crickety again. It's from Angus Sinclair, so thanks, Angus. Brez, what was your favourite wicket and your favourite innings of all time? I can tell you what your best innings is, I've seen. You won at Lords, wasn't it?
Lords, probably is actually best innings of all time. I actually won a trophy for that. I don't know, it's around here somewhere. Give me a sec.
Yeah, you can show us the trophy.
Hang on.
Love that.
Brooks, you fellas...
Doesn't count if your dad gave you it, Brez.
Brooks,
yeah, so was this in the Champo, Brooksy, yeah?
Yeah, it was the when we were at Yorkshire going for the three-peat at Lords, and Brez and City had to put on like 40 at the end to get the last bonus point to keep us in the hunt, and Brez ended up with 140 not out in the news.
Sorry, I was just I've just done the bar up in the thing. So I just built a bar and stuff in a man cave.
That's lovely, that, isn't it? Hey?
I'll use that for another week and then you got to leave it.
Yeah.
I'm sure the new owners will be buzzing about the bar.
You're coming with me, innit?
Oh, class.
So anyway, this is proper good trophy. This
That plastic.
The Cricketer Readers Award Championship Innings of the Year.
Oh, nice.
That's good.
That's a proper cricket badger trophy as well, isn't it?
That is a badger trophy, yeah.
I love that.
It's a good find as well.
Exactly.
Nice.
Well, it was just down there in a bag. I haven't literally put all the stuff I'm going to put on the bar yet. I don't think that's going to make it, if I'm honest.
That's the one best thing about Rooty's place is that his one award that's up in his bar is Barmy Army Player of the Year 2017, and it's a big beer belly with a pint.
Perfect. Absolutely outstanding.
You got a favourite wicket, Brez, or your knee slide at Headingley in a T20 Roses game was a decent celebration.
I remember that. I was class. Yeah.
That was for a run out.
For a run out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Timmy Bresnan.
Favourite wicket? Sachin on 93, 92, when he was on 99 international hundreds.
Oh, you got booed, didn't you? For the Indians wanted to lynch you, didn't they?
Got death threats.
Yeah.
What?
Got Indians sending me death threats on Twitter, yeah. Me and the umpire. The umpire actually got some, like, properly sent to his house and everything.
Serious?
Yeah. Tony Hill, I think it was.
I mean, you know, you could have just replied to him and said, well, you should have batted a bit better, shouldn't he? You know?
Well, thing is, it was missing leg by a mile, but they didn't have DRS.
So again, their own fault, though, isn't it?
Correct. That's what we said. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Heavy head, wasn't it? Just fell over it. Big Sachin.
Big Sachin.
Yeah, well, little Sachin, big heavy head. You can warn him about it. Good dish. Don't watch the eyes, youngster.
Another question in here we've got from Paul Robinson. I'm not sure if that's it might be the former Leeds United goalie, Brez, actually.
Barmy Army member as well.
So it might be. We're not sure, but it could be. Paul Robinson, how excited are you to be playing at the home of the Barmy Army for the rest of your county career?
Unbelievable. It's the only reason I signed for that Holly stand.
Yeah.
As long as you send like 20,000 down every time I play to come and support, then it'll be amazing.
It'll be bouncing. They're bouncing on a Friday night for the T20s and stuff, though, Brez, won't it? It'll be great.
Can't wait to get stuck into that local derby, the old Bears Pairs. Ooh, that's rivalry, isn't it?
Just like the Yorkshire Lancashire derby, isn't it?
Probably not.
Moving swiftly on to a question from Emily Newton has asked you, what's the best bit of Barmy Army banter / song that you've seen or heard whilst playing for England? What's the best moment from the crowd?
Probably the Mitch Johnson he bowls to the left.
Yeah. How can you beat that? That's going to be the best of all time, isn't it?
I reckon it is, yeah.
Were you on the field when Tremlett took that wicket when he walked out to bat Golden Duck?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that moment like?
Unbelievable.
The best.
He just got abused all the way on, and then like 3 seconds later he's getting abused all the way off. Thing is, I played with him at the Scorchers as well, and he spoke about it. Like, it affected him. It hurt him.
Yeah.
But he said, it made me stronger. Like, it made me stronger. It made me want to come back stronger, and they will. And you know what? He did. He turned up.
Didn't he? Yeah.
Wow.
Turned into a terrorist, isn't he?
He's one of those people. He was doing the World Cup commentary last year for the radio and stuff, and he was doing a bit of telly and whatever. He's one of those people. I was really disappointed that he's actually quite a nice bloke.
I
thought, it's a shame this, because I really didn't like him as a player. He was tash and sneering away. But no, what was it like to play with him? I mean, probably
he's a good lad. He's a good lad. Like, we did have like rivalry, because obviously he could bowl rockets, but I could bat a little bit, and then he could hold the bat, but he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't that fussed for it, and then we'd just try and like kill him basically. Just come from what he'd been doing to us, and like he'd get all like snarly and stuff, and like he'd just come at us even harder. Like him and Jimmy, that was proper. That, like, I was stood at the other end going, he's gonna kill him, yeah. He's gonna kill him. Like, he's got a chance here. So I just thought, well, like, mate, what are you doing? Like, he's like, I'm not fucking trying to get him out. I'm like, all right. Shit.
Yes, please don't get a quick single here, Jimmy. Yeah.
No.
Oh dear.
Yeah, genuinely nice bloke.
Good. Next question. Any more questions? We've got another question.
Yeah, I've got one more. Just actually interesting. You just touched on making him stronger mentally. This is a question from Opening Up Cricket, who the Barmy Army's one of their partners, aren't they, Chris?
Yeah, that's right, mate. Yeah, partner with
mental health charity.
Yeah.
Simply like, Brez, how do you look after your mental health?
Well, it's tough. It's tough, yeah. I think this has been really good for me. The old lockdown. I think if you try and attack it in a positive way rather than try and let it get you down about all the stuff you're missing out on, just turn it on its head, like all the stuff that you're gaining from lockdown. And for me, it was like, yeah, I'm getting fitter, I'm getting leaner. I'm not being told what to do, being made to lift weights. I'm spending so much extra time that I wouldn't usually get with my family in the summer when the weather's nice, so I can, enjoy the garden, enjoy taking the kids on walks and bike rides and all that sort of stuff. Like DIY, like getting a load of stuff done around the house, and then genuinely just not having anything to do. Like, it's been really good, this sort of lockdown period. But I agree, it is tough. I suppose if you live on your own, that would be one of the hardest things. But yeah, I've struggled in the past mental health wise. Don't mind saying. Had a couple of decent sized wobbles actually. I've just gone, this is enough. That's enough for me. I don't want to play cricket anymore, kind of thing. Had a big one in after the series I made my debut. Actually, I got pumped everywhere by Jayasuriya. Couldn't actually bowl at a left-hander for about 3 years after that. Just got nervous every time a left-hander came in. And then got drugged in Hong Kong. It's a long story.
Where'd that come from? Wow.
We were in Hong Kong Sixers, myself and Johnny Trott, and we got spiked. They reckon it was ketamine because there was traces in our systems, but we got back to the Loughborough and had the drugs tests and stuff, the voluntary ones. And I just like, I'd lost the plot by then anyway. Like, I just didn't want
Really?
So yeah.
When was that, Brezzy?
2000 and I reckon that was the winter. That was the sort of end of the 2008 summer. And then I had that whole winter off. I had a really good pre-season with Yorkshire in Abu Dhabi. Were you there on that one, Jack? Or was that before you? I think that was when Goffey came back as captain.
It was way before me then.
Yeah, we had Chalky White, Scuba. It was like walking back into an environment with all your mates and just, it was like a stag do, just like really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed my cricket again. And I played the first test of that summer, the 2009 summer. Yeah.
That's it's a good way to end. Look, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. And we wish you all the best with at Warwickshire. Maybe you can sneak another Champo in as well. I mean, Brooksy will have something to say about that, but that'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be nice, and hopefully get a bit of cricket in, and good luck with the move. And look, pleasure speaking with you. Really appreciate your time, and hope that at the Bears it brings you a load of success. So, Brezzy, thank you so much, mate.
No worries. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, mate.
Yeah, top man. So Tim Bresnan, some good stories there, lads. He's lively, isn't he? And what's great about him is that he's lived through that kind of era of not as professional as it is now. Yeah. And he's adapted nicely to it. I think that's a really good quality to have, and he's stood the test of time. And as well as this, and I didn't really want to say this to him, but he's one of the very few county players who, like yourself, Brooksy, you've taken loads of wickets in county cricket, but because of Broad and Anderson basically taking up 2 spots in pretty much every test match for the last 12 or 13 years and beyond, he's one of the few who's managed to actually sort of get a spot and hold down a spot and have a bit of success. So, I mean, great player, and nice to see he doesn't take himself too seriously.
He loves having a laugh and a joke. I think you've got to give him a lot of credit, because when he started playing Test cricket for England, or around about that time, because England had Graham Swan and Andy Flower liked England's 3-seamers, didn't they? They went 3-seam with Swan, and then you had a bit of Collingwood or bits and pieces from someone else, didn't you? So the fact Broad and Anderson were pretty much nailed on for 2 spots all the time, to then be the third seamer in the best team in the world is pretty cool, isn't it? And the fact he won his first 13 Test matches, he never let the team down batting at 8, could do a lot of good catching, fielding, and just a very popular member of that team, wasn't he? He's part of that T20 World Cup squad, won a couple of championships at Yorkshire. Just a very consistent performer, isn't he? And just very reliable cricketer. Nice guy, funny bloke. The last of his ilk, or there's not many of his ilk on the circuit who've had that crossover from the less professional era of cricket, shall we say, and to have been successful through such a long period of time. He will go down as a proper legend, won't he? And he's going to have some belting stories for us. I know he's got a lot more, just whether he can actually remember him or not.
Yeah, he was good. He was really good. Yeah, now a friend of the Barmy Army. And Chris, it's a shame actually, isn't it, that he's probably never going to experience that Holly stand in the full sort of throttle that we've experienced it in the last sort of 2 or 3 years, where it's really sort of ramped up for those international matches. But he's going to love it playing on Friday nights and stuff for them Bears, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. What a place to play cricket and what a place to finish your career. He's been a man for the big stage throughout his career, hasn't he? I know we touched on like some huge moments, but he's played pivotal roles in an England side for quite a long period of time. And he's been such a kind of a cricket legend for like England, for Yorkshire fans, and now hopefully for the Bears for the final 2 years. A lot of Warwickshire members are in the Barmy Army, and a lot are very glad to see him there. And I was chatting to a few of them yesterday saying we've lost Wokesy pretty much to England full time. To have someone like Brezzy to come in and to swing it all over the shop in potentially every format is an absolute blessing for the next 2 years. So I'm looking forward to seeing him face a new challenge for probably the final 2 years of his career. So good on him.
Just a bit. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you've got this far, well done. You deserve a medal. And it's likewise if you're listening to the podcast as well. Remember to keep your emails coming in, info@barmyarmy.com. We want to hear your tales of cricketing wow. I know there's not been any recently, but if you've met any of our guests or anything, and you've got a story, if you listen to a podcast, you thought, I met him once and I made a right fool of myself, or whatever it is, we'd love to hear from you. So get those.
And don't forget to send your headband pictures in, and we'll sort you a lovely little prize out. And for anyone that is wondering why Brooksy's wearing funny yellow-looking shirts, it's because Oxford had a big game today. Brooksy, how'd you get on?
Big chest, innit?
Wang Computers, is that a genuine sponsor?
Wang Computers, yeah. This is the shirt from 1986 when we won the Milk Cup, which is now the League Cup.
Oh wow!
I was 2 then. I remember it well. We played first leg in the playoff against Portsmouth tonight, so that was 1-1. So by the time this goes out, we'll know if Oxford are going to be at Wembley or not, which would be quality for us to even think about getting the Championships class. So,
brilliant.
Yeah. I was just thinking then about when you talked about if you met one of the lads on the podcast, when we all first met, or the first time I met Millard, did I bite him in the face?
You did, yeah.
Yeah, I think you bit them both. Every time it's your birthday, Brooks, you always post a little photo of you back.
That was in Halo, wasn't it? In the nightclub, Quid a Drink.
Halo and Leeds, yeah.
That was a pretty loose Monday.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Pretty normal Monday. Pretty normal Monday back then, isn't it?
Very normal Monday.
Oh, good days. And by the way, Jack Brooks there, whose side Oxford United, by the time you listen to this, will be playing in League One next season. So anyway, we'll leave it on
Shit
that.
House.
I'm coming for you, TalkSport.
We'll leave it on that note. Thank you so much for downloading. Thanks for tuning in, and do get in touch and spread the word about the UK's #1 cricket podcast. Thanks for listening to The Shackles Are Off.
Ta-da.